Hi, everybody. Welcome to this edition of Iredell Statesville Schools EDtalks. We have a very special guest with us today, Mr. Francis Shen from Beijing, China. Francis is here to talk to us about the cultural exchange program that we are getting off the ground here in our school system. So, Francis, good morning to you and welcome to our show.
Good morning. Yeah.
We really appreciate you coming by today. We're very excited about our partnership with Tower Bridge Group. And the clock is ticking now, so we're getting very, very close to finding our families and bringing our students over here. Yes. We'd like to, first of all, begin by asking you to tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got involved in the work with Tower Bridge Group.
Okay. This is very interesting. You know, actually, my background is a consultant for commercial real estate. You know, actually, I did several huge projects in Shanghai. You know, the first project I did in Shanghai is called Shanghai Mart. That is a 2.8 million square feet building. Mm-hmm. Okay, the second project, that is the biggest shopping mall in China. It's a 2.5 million square feet shopping mall. You know, each day we can host 170,000 traffic. Wow. So I'm a few years ago, you know, I'm semi-retired, but because I do have a very good connection, you know, I think probably I have a passion. So there has a lot of friends, you know, come with me. Said, Mr. Shen, you know, because the exchange student business became a trend. A lot of young Chinese, they are willing visit state for study. Mm-hmm. But we find out a problem. The young generation, they did not mature yet. Mm-hmm. So they do have a lot of problem, not only academic, but also, you know, how they living, you know, how they merge into the American culture. Mm-hmm. So we are seeking a way can help them because there has a more and more young age student in high school. They get into United States, but nobody take care of them. Mm-hmm. So this is the first thought we start. Mm-hmm. But if we want to help them, we have to have a certain volume of a student. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, we cannot take care of them economically. Mm-hmm. So we have a brainstorming and find out, see any possible we can work with a public school, because the public school is much more bigger than private school. If we work with a public school, we may easily, you know, have more students in one location. Mm-hmm. Then we really can help.
Right.
You know, that is a start. Mm-hmm. Then we feel, you know, this is from the first beginning, we just help the student. And then also we feel culture exchange is also very important, because that is the main purpose, student coming to United States. Yeah. So we work with culture department in China. There has a culture center. This is a center especially collect all kind of minority race, like their folk song, like their festival, like their legends story. You know, this is a culture center. They collect such kind of database for more than 40 years. Yeah. So very important center in China. So we work with them. You know, we became a culture exchange. Mm-hmm. We can bring American students over there to see our not only Chinese culture, but also minority culture too. Yeah. So this is what we start. Mm-hmm. Then we think we need a good name. So we think we should stand high. So we have a tower and then we are going to be a bridge between Western Oriental culture. So we have our name is Tower Bridge. So this is a start.
Yes, and I'm very impressed, and the name of your company, Tower Bridge, is very thoughtful, and I love the symbolism behind that. As a school system, we are very, very excited that you approached us about this partnership. And so what we're looking at doing is bringing approximately 100 students here in the 2016 school year for a year-long study experience in our 5 public high schools. Now, to get ready for that long-term stay of an academic school year, there is a short-term visit that occurs first. Yes. And so our short-term visit is approaching very, very quickly. We actually have the dates of January the 23rd through February the 14th of this school year. And so we will be inviting children to come be part of our community, to live with families in our community for approximately a 3-week period. And during that 3-week period, we hope to get those children into all of our high schools and get to know our community very, very well. We'll also be exposing them to some of the highlights here in North Carolina, visiting a couple of our universities, getting to see a shopping mall, maybe taking them to Charlotte and letting them see a professional basketball game or something of that nature. That 3-week period is an opportunity for those students to get to know us and for us to get to know the students. And so that is a very, very important piece of this partnership. Talk to us a little bit about that 3-week experience, the short-term experience, and what are some of the expectations and what can we expect from the students during that 3-week visit?
Okay. What we feel, not 100% Chinese students are suitable studying in the United States.
Yes.
You know, we always tell the parent and the student, be a successful person. It's not necessary. It has to be in the United States. So you have a choice. So some of, I know I have experience, some of students, they have car sick. It's funny, you know, they have a car sick. So I find out another short trip in Tacoma. You know, there is one student, they say, I car sit every day. I say, oh, sorry, you cannot come into United States. This is not suitable for you. Yeah. So that's why I think that is a main reason we bring students into state for short term at the first beginning. You know, let them have 1 month, you know, a period, stay here. Then we will know, are they suitable stay here or not? And within 1 month, you know, we can also watch them, their attitude, right? See if we can accept them. Of course, on the other way, you know, they can also have their choice. See if we are suitable for them too. So that is the main reason we bring students in for 3 weeks. And usually we say 3 and 4 weeks. That is the 3 weeks we let them stay in the school. But the last week we take them for fun. Otherwise they fly far away, you know, for study only. You know, that will be a little bit frustrating for them. So that is a 3 + 1 weeks trip. 3 weeks in school, 1 week for fun.
Yes. Well, during that 3-week period when the children are here in our schools, they will have an opportunity to visit our schools and to go into the classes. They will have a student mentor assigned to them that will be somewhat of a buddy to help them navigate the school and learn their way around. The school district will also be testing those students during that 3-week period. Most of these students are very proficient with English. but we will check their language skill to see if they are ready to engage in learning in our classrooms. We'll also be looking at their reading skills and their math skills. And that will help us better gauge where to place those students and what courses and whatnot when they do come back for the year-long experience. So we are very excited about this short-term visit, and it's, as I said earlier, it's right around the corner. The one thing that we need help from the community on is finding families for these students. So we are looking now for families to host these children during that 3-week period. Had a meeting recently and had a good showing of parents throughout the community, and what we're asking parents to do is to sign on and consider taking a student or two into their home for this 3-week period. Tower Bridge is unique in that you do compensate the families for hosting a student, and that is $30 per day, approximately $900 per month, and that payment is made directly to the family to offset some of the cost of hosting that child. So that sets you apart from any of the other cultural exchange programs that I'm aware of. That's very generous of your group to do that. What else could we say to the parents in our community? What are you looking for, and what tips do you have for families that might be considering this as an option?
Normally, Chinese student, the Chinese education is different with American. The reason we have this 3 weeks trip is also let the student understand American's education, the way of American, have education.
Yeah.
Okay. So in China, usually we have one class, but teacher coming to the class. So everybody has the same class. But here in the United States, teacher sitting in the class, right? The student go around,
right,
so they can select, which item they love,
yeah,
to participate. Yeah, this is a very lucky for American student, but Chinese, no way they can have it. That's why, a lot of parents are willing to send them here. So this is something we let them familiar, the way of American education. So this is the other purpose we bring them in. Once when they choose coming for the long-term stay, they won't be too, don't know how to do it.
Yes.
More familiar.
Yes.
But we looking some host family to help us, not only take care of them a space for living, a space for eating, but also we hope, that is another very important purpose is we need to make all the students, know how to survive in the United States. They need to know the culture here.
Yes.
They need to know the culture here. Some of Chinese students, not all of them, some of them, in China was spoiled. And also, I think because the background, because the character, because the culture, let's say because the culture different. Normally, what I feel, American students are more independent, much more independent than Chinese. So I think there has one thing probably our American host family can help our student how they can be independent here in United States.
Yeah.
I think that is a very, very important
Right.
part because I think this is the biggest difference. Usually Chinese students, they all very depend on their parents. I think that is the biggest difference. Yeah.
I see. Now, most of these students will be coming from Beijing number 4 and Beijing number 12.
Yes.
And these are very bright students. Academically, they're at the top of their class.
Yes. Yes.
And so I hear you loud and clear that these host families, we want those children to assimilate into that family and become a member of the family.
Yes.
And if the family is planning a trip to the mall, then take the child with you. If you're getting up and you're going to church, take the child with you to the church or the synagogue or the mosque. If you're raking leaves on a Saturday, put them out there with your own children and do those chores and whatnot. Right. So you're looking for a truly 100% immersion into the American culture and the American way of life.
Right. Just 100%. If possible, treat them like you're a member in the family.
Right. Yeah. Right. Now, families that would be interested in hosting a child can go to our website, and there's information there about the process. Kelly Cooper, who is our Director of Secondary Education, is leading this project for us, and her contact information is on our website. But it is a very simple process. They fill out the application. There is a background check that is performed on the family. The application is then screened, and someone from Tower Bridge Group will do a home visit, interview the parents, and come into the home. And then you communicate with those parents, and you ask then that the family reach out by some type of social media and meet their child from China.
Yeah.
And so it's a pretty simple process.
Yes. Yeah.
We had our first meeting just recently and had a good showing. We have approximately 75 families that have reached out to us now to express interest in this. But we do need to hear from them pretty quickly. December the 4th is when we need to have a commitment from these families to begin that process. And then again, January the 23rd is when the children will start arriving here in the United States for that 3-week visit. They will be here during your New Year, the Chinese New Year celebration. And so actually, I guess the children are on their break, their winter break from schools there. And I know that our mayor, Costi Cute, is planning a big New Year's celebration for the children on the campus of Statesville High School one evening. And the kids that will be coming that night will actually be performing and giving us a taste of Chinese culture around the celebration of New Year's there. And we're looking forward to that. That's going to be a big event. And I understand that the kids that are going to be performing are quite talented.
Yes, they do very talented. I think they will show a lot of interesting skill, American will be loved. Some particular Chinese music instrument, some Kung Fu, like what we call Tai Chi, and some special skill like, the Chinese ancient handwriting, we call calligraphic. Those are very, very interesting. I think we will share a lot of Chinese culture together at the Chinese New Year's Eve. I think that is the 6th of February.
Yes, February the 6th at McGray Auditorium, Statesville High School. So we're looking forward to that. Now, I also know when the children come for their 3-week visit, you've got some parents that will be coming as chaperones. And those parents are going to make themselves available to our American families to help assimilate those children and get the children immersed in the families and whatnot. And they're actually willing to come into the homes and share about Chinese culture and maybe even prepare a Chinese meal for them.
Yes, I think we will have around 20 parents come together. They will stay here probably only around 10 days. They are going to have their own sightseeing and the sightseeing and shopping too. Okay. But the rest of the day, they are willing to see a city. They are willing to see school, and the most important part, they want to visit our host family.
Yeah.
Yeah, they say they want to stay with the host family at least the whole day. At least the whole day,
yes.
they are going to cook Chinese food there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a very interesting Chinese culture exchange too. Yeah. We always say establish a relationship through your stomach. Yeah.
That's wonderful. I'm really looking forward to that. You know, another piece of this partnership between the Iredell Statesville Schools and Tower Bridge Group is we want to send our students and our families to China.
Yes.
And so as the years progress and this partnership reaches its full vision, then we will be identifying students and families that we can send to Beijing and to tour your schools there and get a taste of the Chinese culture.
Yes.
And I think this partnership, one of the reasons that I am so excited about this, Francis, is I do believe that in our world today, a lot of the conflict and the strife that we have is because we don't know each other.
Yes.
And we do not have relationships and bonds.
Right.
And I also firmly believe that to bring about systemic change in our world, you have to start with children. And so we are very, very excited about this partnership, and we look forward to having our Chinese students and children, and we're going to start referring to them as our children, visit with us in January. In our school system, for many, many years, we have been committed to this vision of making our students globally aware. They do live in a much smaller world than I experienced when I was a child growing up. And we also want to make sure that our children are globally competitive. And so we see this as a way to do that for our children here in Iredell County. So we're very excited about the partnership, and we look forward to working with you and your group for many years to come.
Thank you very much.
Well, thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
And folks, we need your help now. The missing link in this is identifying families throughout our community. And I do mean throughout our community. We want every section of our community, all areas of our community represented in this partnership. And for that to happen, we need for families in the community to step up and agree to host a child. And this 3-week period from January through early February is the perfect time to try this for 3 weeks and see if this is right for you and your family. So if you might be a family that would be interested in helping us in developing this great cultural exchange for our school system, please go to our website and get more information about the Chinese Cultural Exchange Program. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to bringing you more information about this great opportunity for our children in the near future. Thanks.